aftermath. Maybe. Possibly. After the experience of no address concludes, is done for, what have you learned? What have you learned? What have you learned? What will you allow to be your encyclopedia for the rest of your days? Who and how will you, who will you allow into your aliveness now? How can you grow beyond all that you've experienced for your highest good? What does it look like to stand upright again? To come from about a kneeled, a child's pose position into upright, flat-footed, chest high, chin forward. What does that look like? What does that feel like? How will that be for you now? I thought about that today on a random intentional of how do you get up again? How do you get up again, and how do you make sure you complete it and not over explain, feel like you got to be over grateful, make sure you do everything precisely, you thrust yourself into a walking on eggshells existence because maybe fear tries to haunt you of when stability comes forward, you know where you came from. The haunt of will it happen again? Are you secure? Is everything fortified? Can something come in and steal it? Can something come in and change it? Will it change? Is it serious? Is it fortified? Can you trust it? Are you trustful? Once you complete the assignment, the experience of no address, what does that look like? How do you stand back up on all 33 vertebrae, flat-footed, chest out, and chin erect? How do you do right by you? Now knowing everything that you experience, how do you make it a wonderful gumbo that you serve yourself every day? Now knowing the polar of no address to now being nesting, housed in a great place of virtue, one that is intentionally sought after and gained by you. How do you complete your thriving tools? How do you, I don't use the survival tools, how do you throw them in the water for others, or lay them, place in places for others to use, or know the power in me knowing, say, I'm paying attention to the theater happening, the show, the experience happening for all of us to see. That's why I said theater. That Cardi's out selling her CDs, grind mode. If you ain't gonna get it done, I got it. All right, cool. This ain't my first rodeo. I know where I was, and I know why I'm here, and I know all the access and options I have, and this will not be a divot. An anthill made into a mountain. That's cool. I've been indifferent before. Like I like what she doing, of using her polar, of she know where she was, she fully manifest her intention, And she and it's cute because I was listening to a little bit of her music today, and it's cute that she like, if anything does expire me before time, make sure you throw her pumps up in a certain part of New York. Throw her pumps on the electric line in a certain part of New York. And I was like you really got your 40 acres and a mule. Like, you really went from one thing to every, and all things that were tangible in your capacity, beyond your capacity, by being intentional. Like, you really went from infinity and beyond. Like, someone who's, say, on the block in Baltimore Street, the block in Baltimore, it is a space where you only see that. That is your reality. That is your everything. That is all. So to be able to dream Disneyland, for that magic carpet ride to be your daily, that's power. That's power. That's power. And that's exactly what you ought to do. Set your intent, know what you know, and be unshakable. So the what I've learned also, once you get back up flat-footed on all 33 vertebrae, chest out and your chin square, it is your duty to put color on this blank canvas. You have to write the story. Like, the only move ahead is you, because it's already started. It's begun. So the only that is happening is your participation in what is already written, and what you pin down, you spell forward, you conjure. That is what is Ghana. If you don't move, pin, spell, make any connection, it can loop you right back into no address. Almost like when people are serving, or that mission, and they come back and they either do well or don't with transitioning into, you're not in Iraq anymore, you're not in Desert Storm anymore, you're not in Saudi Arabia anymore, you're not in the Gulf, you're not in D-Day. Like, you're not, these aren't your realities anymore. Like, you could either loop back in while you're in Arizona, like you are in Desert Storm, or you could be like, that has to complete with all of my might, because I'm now in San Antonio. This is where I am now. The present moment awareness has to be nurtured in almost a daily request. Or it can be seamless to slide right back into no address. That is the small print that, if we don't give it sound, share forward, it can happen. It will happen. Sound, voice, choice is wealth, equity, your stake in your aliveness, your gratitude offering, and it is your life breath. You have to give what could have took you out of here. You have to give it sound. It cannot, the villain of silence shall not govern you. Let it do its will and move forward. Don't give it a bed and breakfast. Don't give it land and deed, and no. But I see, because I thought a lot about it today, it's seamlessly easy to loop back into what all that I have been doing, and that's all that I had been doing. Let's just keep that rhythm, because that is the daily. That is what we rise to and what we set to. Versus complete that and say, from this forward on, it is anew, and I receive it and accept it as anew. And it can be like, wow, because you are starting from scratch. And when you think about just some compassion, that no address was that was your full itinerary for days and days and days and days. You knew exactly what you would be doing, what it would look like. And now you are responsible for it and whatever it is asking, because the asking more or less is you meeting life after you went through what was best intended for you. Now you must nurture this new life into a thriving aliveness, a joyous occasion, a grateful, gracious, easeful, ready for the resistance and the friction, and having the polar to know, like, the sun rises and the moon shall come. They are harmoniously aligned with each other. So whether it be like this too shall pass or whatever, like, it ain't a consistent commitment. Everything cycles out. If you can stay the course, and it definitely can be complicated, because I now can see how, if all you see and all you know and all it is looking like, then that's game. That's what it is. You probably will have trouble telling that person anything different. It's all they see, is all they know, and it's all it's been. So the power it really takes to invest in the unseen, the what you have yet experiencing, is a gracious goodness, thankful, powerful, undeniable. Never talk yourself out of giving yourself the praise because you made that decision. Because at any point when you were in exercise and experiment, it potentially could have took you out of here. Took you out of here mentally, took you out of here physically, kept you there, and had you probably locked in mind, body, in a way where, like how the PTSD happens with people, or, some people have mislabeled veterans as, they're a danger. Don't let them ignorantly. We not always choose to know a little bit about everything. So we'll have a little bit of we'll have more of a head start when we see things that aren't our daily. We'll be like, oh, I seen or heard or read about, or that is a justice on a micro level and on a macro level, to know a little bit about something. Like, I read while doing a bunch of stuff to maintain my sanity while having no address, that mushroom therapy was a way that they are tending to aiding, nurturing back to body, mind, veterans who are like disassociative because of what they've experienced and they can't cut it off. They're using mushroom therapy as a way to regulate their nervous system, calm them so they can either communicate, be able to be sociable, or get rest. Am I a veteran? I'm me personally, no, but I'm in the company of veterans. Whether it be I might walk down to a public place and see somebody sitting on the ground, no address, and more times than not, a big portion of the no address population are veterans. Or we have so many veteran hospitals that, it seems like All of them have no address, but happen to just be associated or have a receipt to say that they were, in combat somewhere. But knowing a little bit about everything is a justice for yourself and a justice for the communities around you. I feel is better for you to be more precise and prepared than anything. Precise and prepared over anything. By knowing and learning a little bit about everything. Something bit the shit out my back. Like right on my spine. When was my spine out? Shit be going on and I don't even be knowing. Cause ain't nobody walk around with their spine out and shit. This is, it ain't the summer no more. What's happening that shit? They be setting me up. They be like, we heard you talking all that shit. Bite, 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 bite. She gonna wake up itching 1,000 times for the full day. Yep. Anyway, or all days. The will and the briefing that the willpower that it will ask and be required of you to get back up 10 toes on all 33 degrees disc of your spine, upright, flat-footed, chest out, and chin erect. The responsibility and the power is going to take to do that because, I get it. Like, when you fucking outside, it really is, it really is life or death every day. Life or death every day. You ain't fucking thinking about cheesecake from the bakery. You may, but it's life or death every day. So to go back inside where it's secure now and you don't have to do any of what you had to do for how long ever it was done for, you're going to have to unlearn just as much as you are in respite. Like, it almost reminds me of like addiction, where every day is a win that you sober, but it's really broken up like that. Like, the details of your experience is unique, and because it is unique how it is, every day is particular. Every day is a master plan. Like, it really is, because you could definitely get back in nest or upright again and be haunted with, will it happen again? Will I be no address again? What do I have to do to be no address? And then maybe get back into the sports car of exhaustion, of hustling, and make sure that nothing happens to you. Making sure you don't ever feel life. You don't ever feel what may come. You don't feel the ebb and flow. And then now you're exhausted because you have all this stuff, but you're not really enjoying that shit because you got 5 and 8 jobs. Or you're tending to everything and everywhere. You're not just like, almost like, inside. Just easy, breezy, relaxed, okay, ready, like in love with the shit. That's the part that I trust that that's the part that I trust isn't discussed enough for it to be in preventative mode. So when you get back from being outside, no address, you won't lapse and be either back with no address or exhausting yourself because you're afraid of not having an address again. How to do it in a gracious way. That is the part that I was thinking about today, how there is no manual. There is no consistent conversation. It is a blind spot. Some people have no idea about that. And I thought about that shit when the early part of this no address thing. I was like, I wanted people to be thinking how you care for addicts or people who they recognize as experience something traumatic or terrorizing to alter their mind and body? Do they think about people who have to get on my nerves? No address means you don't have a consistency in shower, food, where to sleep, that type thing. So I don't use homeless, but to be quick, I wonder if they think about, when they think about what do they call it? I don't even know what you would call it. Like a welcome home almost. A welcome home liaison or packet or check-in, or I don't know, year probation type of situation where like people who were homeless for however long they were homeless, when they get back inside, has anybody thought like they ought to be looked at and baby stepped, or either looked at and I don't know, given a grace period, because it could be challenging or hard or whatever to go back inside and stay in a calm, nervous system regulating mind state in action plan, to make sure that they don't be in that bitch still sleeping in sleeping bags and shit, pissing in containers, pissing and shitting in containers, I don't like behaving the same way when they inside, that like they haven't completed. You follow what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I wonder if they even think about doing that shit, of like people who are returning home. Do you monitor and give them all the support that they would need physically and psychologically? Because every day without an address and outside in these elements, whether it be environment or just people's learned perceptions of what is great and what ain't great, that you have to deal with, that fucks your psyche up every day. How that they would be the important population to monitor or give a grace period or have the supports or things that they would possibly run into, whether it be somebody checking in on you like, yo, like, I know you ain't still fucking sleeping in a tent in the inside. You ain't still sleeping in a sleeping bag in the inside. You better stop shitting in them damn cups and bags and shit. Like somebody that like is an accountability partner, somebody who has eyes on them, because they understand that habits can form, and they also can be resistant to changing because it turned into a pattern that turned into survival. It went too long and it turned into survival. If any places have thought about the homeless population being a population that would need wraparound services, I thought about that early in this shit, like just thinking like, and it was weird because if you still have spirit, if you still have will, there are places present that will outcast you and not be flexible in their human being, their mankindness, to be like, you still have fire in you, and that's good, because that's a grace, that's a blessing. Because I've seen so many people who are like, they probably, I don't know what is breathing life into their lungs. They probably don't know either. They have no idea how they are fucking doing this. I see that so much in here. So that you come in here, you're like a spark of sunshine coming in here. Still like doing the best to keep your clothes together, doing the best for you to keep your hygiene up, doing your best to make sure you keep your spirit up, keep eye contact, smile, laugh, interface. Like you're like, that's what's up. And sometimes when there isn't an answer to your question, it's because you are the one to doctor it into motion. It ain't an answer until you come up with it. It ain't an answer until you do it. Who is this guy in the back with the abstract face? I am an artist, and it is my blessing, Godson. And it has showed up dynamically right now. In an offering of reflection, gratitude, and appreciation, because it is the wind, the air, my existence. It is my fuel. It is how I breathe. I am alive. My creativity, my will to tap into imagination, my playfulness, my easiness, my easefulness, my feminine, my play, my joy, my seeing through, beyond veil, conjuring things forward. It is my lifeline, my livestock, my equity, my inheritance. And the YouTube, watch the rest of the videos. Graciously, I ask. It gives you more amplification on what has happened in my no address experience and what is happening as I heal forward from no address. The last few pieces of my tangible art already painted, framed, matted, all that type of stuff. And when you watch the rest of the videos, a big day in a complicated day, but it meant well, always does. I completed everything that I ever had was in storage. Everything that I accumulated up into a year ago was in storage. And everything came to a head where, like, completion means completion, not 90%, 80%. It means 100% is completion. And the last 10, 20 of it was everything I had in storage. That was teapots, chamomile, all this type of stuff, clothes, of course my art, guitars, amps, maracas, everything that was the last of me. The last of who I was, the last of me was in storage. Kept for longer than I intended before I even knew that this would come about. And then it was the last part of hanging on for dear life was keeping all that I ever had in storage. And then it came down to that has to go. That has to go. Hunches, hints. Till it's gone now. And when you watch the videos, the choice that I had was how I would complete it. The choice was not to not complete. The choice was you have flexibility on how you'll complete it. But it is happening. I gave everything that was in there away. I gave it a good run of exchange for money. It's for sale, it's for sale, it's for sale, it's for sale. Then echoes get a little more aggressive. It's for sale, 2 for this, pop, pop, pop. Echoes. All right, if you got it, if you can pack it, tow it, get it gone. The storage gotta go. Gotta get it cleaned out, ready, because I'm already extending my time. And is it carrying more debt on top of debt? Get it gone. If you can drag it, pull it, tow it, get it out of here. So it was like a yard storage sale. Whoever, people I knew, people I didn't know, like this, come. I have to close out the storage, clean it out, and leave it in a well-mannered way. No more excuses of what I can't pull off. I've already extended my time. Get more precise. Get this gone. And get it gone was, if you can pull it, tow it, tag it, get it gone. The expansion of sale, making money, generating was taking all of the time. And within 7 days, 8 days, the emergency, get it gone, pull it toward, tag it, allowed the storage to be emptied. Was it what I intended, planned for? I was looking to get resource so I could wash my ass, get a night's sleep, or night's sleep, food to eat, gas in the vehicle. If I needed more insulation, the Goodwill, get a quilt, get a blanket, get some polyester. You already know that should have turned your temperature up 30, 40 degrees. Easy. I don't even know what it's made out of. I thought I heard it was made out of plastic. Like, responding to my needs was what the intention was when I'm like, profit for my art. But you can't control everything, and if you try and control everything, you're gonna fuck your shit up. You're gonna bang your head on the cement. You're gonna drag your motherfucking self trying to control everything. That's also what I learned in motion. I couldn't control it. I just had to participate. I just had to participate. Oh. So I had four paintings, frame, matted, that I'm still generating mutual aid for, because a nest, food every day, rest, gas, everything that a person would need to function in a thriving way is still what I'm allowing my art to serve for, and also take care of me. I'm allowing my art to take care of me. It's everything that I know is all that I have, and it's all that is here. It's been here since the 4th grade. It is my keeper. I am the steward of it. Now I must match it so it can take care of me, and also nourish and love on everything that's a part of me. Any neighborhood I go into, any gallery I'm installed in, any person that exchanges currency for art with me, any person that watches my YouTube, any person that hears me, any person that, I'm responsible for how I show up for myself and for everything around me. I'm responsible, plain and simple. I'm responsible for how I show up for me and how I show up for my community. It ain't really like a in between. I already know the metrics of how this thing go. Like, it's a ripple out. Everything that you're doing is a ripple out effect, and you're responsible for that shit. Ain't no backseats, ain't no dip out, ain't no I'ma hide. It's not how life go. It's abundantly compassion and forgiveness and reflection, but that don't mean that, oh yeah, we're gonna keep letting you just be a tyrant. No. Or say that you ain't know for the 50th time, with your fingers crossed behind your back. So I trust by me giving the sound is making sure that I pour libations onto my will to do my assignment. My will to be here right now, still in assignment. My will to know that once aliveness happens, it abundantly is coming to me. And I must nurture that responsibility. Same as I held it down when it was no address. Equally. Learn a little bit about everything. It is your justice for yourself and everything around you to know a little bit about everything. It is your justice for yourself and everything around you. And it serves you because you'll be prepared and you'll be aware. You'll be prepared and aware by learning a little bit about everything. Learning a little bit about everything. Just like I didn't know, places have made it a law to not be homeless. It's against the law to be homeless. Many states have took that stance. Something I had no knowledge of until it was no address for me. No knowledge of. An example of learn a little bit about everything so you can be aware and prepared. Which amplifies that there's a right and wrong. Which amplifies that it is your fault. Mistakes can't happen. Learning should be criminalized. There's only exhaustion and imperfection. It amplifies that ignorance. Versus the beauty of knowing what it means to be back inside when you have been, say, no address in a harsh climate. And that could be New York, Chicago, places that the climate is rigid. It isn't tropical like you got homeless in Belize, even though to not be in a consistent pattern of I can eat, I can shower, I can go to sleep is terror enough, and then amplify it with it's 40 degrees outside. And you ain't got a coat, you ain't got a blanket, you ain't got no motherfucking heater. You just outside. And then you got people that have believed that there's a right and wrong. Like mistakes can't happen. Learning isn't a part of life. And they're, well, what the fuck you want me to do about it? That ain't my motherfucking bro. You did that shit to yourself. Yeah. It's a wild ride. Wild, wild ride. Mentally and physically. No address. Appreciate you listening. Take care of you. Be prepared. Be aware by learning a little bit about everything.